Today's game comes as a recommendation from Retro Faith Knuckles. While watching them do a charity stream, I asked them if they had any old or obscure games they could recommend, and they answered Mr. Driller. I had heard of Mr. Driller before, but I never took interest in it because I'm not one for Tetris-like games, but I was willing to give it a go. So consider checking out Faith on Twitch, you know where the link is, and let's get into the game. And thank you Faith for the recommendation. Mr. Driller is a puzzle game that feels like a combination of Dig Dug and Tetris. And, fun fact, it's canon with Dig Dug. You play as Susumu Hori, the son of Taizo Hori from Dig Dug, and Masuyo Kisi Tobi, the protagonist from Baraduk. What an odd family history. The dad fought monsters underground, the mother fought monsters in space, they somehow met, did the nasty, and 9 months later, a kid comes out named Mr. Driller, who fights against the biggest threat to humanity, cubes. That's the plot. Coloured blocks are emerging from underground and putting the city into panic, so Mr. Driller comes in to save the day. At the game menu, you've got a choice of arcade, time trial, and endless. We will of course look at all of these modes, but let's start with arcade. I have no idea what I'm doing. You get a choice of death, and your goal is to dig to the bottom, scoring as high as you can while avoiding death. Okay, death isn't that gruesome, but death does come quickly and easily if you're not careful. The controls of gameplay, simple enough. You've got 3 lives and a limited time to reach either 2,500 or 5,000 feet. You aim your drill with the stick and push any button to use it. You use the drill to dig through the blocks, and should any of those blocks come together in a formation of 4 or more, they destroy themselves. But if they come together in 3 or less, they attach and make a bigger shape. And the bigger the shape, the more you drill away. As you delve deeper into the earth, your oxygen supply will drain faster. Thankfully, the cubes have some oxygen tanks lying around. Make the most of them though, because we've probably got a decade left of clean air to breathe. If you dig through a brown block, it takes 20% of your air away, and sometimes you've got no choice but to do that. Every row you dig through adds 5 feet to your depth, and every 500 feet you complete a level. And as you get lower, the levels get more complicated. Sounds simple, right? Well, it's not as simple as it sounds. While you could just try the Minecraft no-no of digging straight down to the bottom as fast as you can, there are dangers to this. Mainly death. The better strategy is to find ways for the blocks to destroy themselves and potentially get a big-ass combo going. The thing is, I can do this a little, but with the pressure of a time limit, I often make mistakes. And any time I do pull off a combo, it was a pure fluke, and I just sit back and watch in undeserved pride as chaos erupts around me. As you're watching this, you might think, it doesn't look so hard, but it's trickier than it looks, and if you play this yourself, there will be a lot of moments where you go, oh fuck! My main issue was the physics. I never got used to them. As I mentioned before, if a group of 4 touch each other, they vanish, but this can happen to blocks that don't touch the ground. I always assume they need to be on a flat surface before they count towards anything else, and it throws me off every time. It's not a bad thing, but it just throws me into a short state of confusion a lot. There are also times you might have to risk getting crushed to grab oxygen, or get trapped between brown blocks, and all of these situations happens more often than you think. What's worse is when a block lands on top of you from off screen because you can't see above you. Boy, this is tricky. Is there like a tutorial I can read or something? I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Oh, difficulty and extra lives. Yeah, I'll do that. Let's see how it works. Either the game's easier, I've gotten better, or placebo is lying to me to protect my already fragile self-confidence. Either way, it feels a lot easier now. Chances are, you'll be playing with these same sections over and 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 over, but at least you've got nice music to keep you company. As you've probably realised by now, the game has a very cutesy look to it, and the main reason for that is because originally this game was going to be Dig Dug free, but it was shelved and later repurposed. You can see some of the similarities if you compare it to Dig Dug 1 and 2. Aesthetically, the game is pleasing. The overall look of the game, accompanied by the music and the sounds, generates this sort of... I guess the best way to describe it is sense of adventure. When you start the first level, it's this really happy tone of, I'm going on an adventure! As you get lower down through, the music starts to get slightly more intense with every new level. slowly creating a sense of dread, intensity, and danger. It's so well designed that it also gives an audible representation of just how far you've gotten from the top. Listen to the music on the first level compared to the last and you'll see what I mean. It goes from, alright, time to save the world! To, oh god, I'm running out of air and I'm almost hit the bottom, hurry the fuck up! Going back to the visuals, their simplicity and cute cartoon design is pleasing to the eye. Maybe they're a bit bright to some, but the style is very attractive and everything you need to see is clearly laid out, easy to find, and the levels are easy to navigate through. Visually, at least. With that, there isn't much more to the game. No unlocks, no secrets, no additional content. Yeah, you can have the harder 5,000 feet level, the time trial mode where you race to the bottom as quick as you can, and the endless mode where you go balls deep into the earth for the biggest score, but there's not much else after that. Reaching the bottom in arcade mode simply displays your high score while the offspring of Mr. Blobby cheer for you, and it's got a rocking riff on the game over screen. The Mr. Driller is a simple game, but that's not a bad thing. It's originally started out as an arcade game, and that much is obvious. The home console version of the game feels more like a party game you would play with friends. Its gameplay is addictive, the look of the game is pretty, and it does offer up a good challenge, but its lack of features can cause it to feel stale quickly. I say that as someone who isn't big on these sort of games anyway. I did enjoy it, but I wouldn't jump at the chance to play it again. If, however, you are someone who likes fast-paced action puzzles like Tetris or Hexen, or even if you're a fan of the Dig Dug series, then I'd say that this one definitely gets a play from you. And that was Mr. Driller. Thanks for watching everyone, and remember you're always welcome at the Spectrum.